In the world of education, subjects like math and English are considered so important, they're taught in every grade K through 12 and are components of every college degree program. Considered as root cognitive skills, they are key to all educational enterprises and ultimately to workplace productivity. So we send our students armed with pencils and calculators out to take on the world, knowing we've done an excellent job providing all the skills they need to really...
Wait, did you say productivity? Aren't you forgetting one little detail? Computers reach every aspect of our lives, at home, in the classroom, and at work. So we're sending our students out into the world armed with pencils?
Yeah?
Doesn't today's productivity now require excellent keyboarding skills?
Well, most of these kids come from homes where they have computers.
Okay, so what's the typing speed of the average third grader? And now every district is administering high-stakes tests online.
Boy, I see what you mean. I'm surrounded in my studio every day by 5 or 6 keyboards.
Hi, I'm Patty Harrington, State Superintendent of Public Schools. We do have a serious problem on our hands. Keyboarding is a critical literacy skill needed by every student in Utah's classrooms. We can no longer afford to assume students are gaining keyboarding skills outside of the classroom. We cannot create an educational environment that demands keyboarding skill and not teach keyboarding to our students.
I'm so tired of taking the kids into the computer lab and having them struggle. Day after day, these kids are put in front of the computer and they just don't have the skills. What's going to happen when the direct writing assessment goes online and these kids aren't able to finish their essays in the allotted time?
I have a computer at my house, but I don't use the keyboard a lot because I just use the mouse for everything I need to do.
What we really need is ongoing keyboarding instruction to teach the kids proper technique and increase their speed so they can be successful throughout their educational careers. If students do not learn how to keyboard properly, students are going to fall behind, both in education and in their careers in the future.
I think the keyboard skills for our students today are essential for their success in the classroom. So much of our classroom curriculum is based on students having effective keyboarding skills that without it, I see the students that lose confidence because they lack the ability and oftentimes become frustrated with school and give up when simply they just need the ability to improve their keyboarding skills to be a better student. As I talk to students about college and their future and their careers, having the important skills of keyboarding is so essential to their success. When I think about the reports that they'll be writing, the research they'll be doing, the emails they'll be doing, I mean, so much of today's interaction and productivity really relies on just good keyboarding skills. At least 90% of today's jobs, whether they're office, professional, blue collar, or technical, rely on interfacing with the computer for data entry and communications. It really limits the student's career choice if they don't have good keyboarding skills.
There are model keyboarding programs in some of our schools. Students in these programs are leading the way in terms of academic success.
Here at Shelley Elementary, we recognize the importance of keyboarding in the writing process, because it helps with the spelling, it helps with the writing. Right now my students are writing journals and learning how to word process and so on, but also they're learning a life skill, that's going to help them later, especially for those end of the year tests that are now requiring writing from the students online testing. And so that will better help them to truly score to their potential.
It makes a big difference to have keyboarding skills. It's nice to be able to type and use computers in the classroom, especially when we do typing and writing stuff on the computer.
Technology is crucial in our elementary schools, especially in this ever-changing world, and keyboarding skills really allow students to access that. And so many other opportunities come from keyboarding. In fact, I will tell you that one of my big regrets in life is not ever having taken a keyboarding class when I was coming up through school. I've paid the price and had to recoup skills since then, and boy, I wish I would have had that. And I want that for our students. I want them to be able to become proficient at keyboarding while they are here, and that in turn will open up many doors for them in the future.
Years ago, it was believed that children younger than 8th or 9th or 10th grade could not learn to keyboard. But with the change in the size of the keyboard and the fact that it doesn't take a lot of strength to activate the keys anymore like it used to on an old typewriter, it's now very easy for children as young as 7 and 8 years old to learn how to keyboard well. When we talk about efficient and effective use of the keyboard, we're not talking about an old hunt and peck method, because the truth is, if we're using that method to keyboard, we're only typing as fast as we could handwrite. And we ought to be inputting information at 3 or 4 times the rate that we can handwrite. A good intensive program can begin and should begin in the 3rd grade.
In Davis School District, we've implemented an elementary keyboarding program, but it just isn't enough. Students don't have the time and schools don't have the resources to adequately teach this skill. The keyboarding program needs to continue into the junior high. In order to implement a successful keyboarding program, it's imperative that we have the support of principals, of school administration, and also to have adequate funding.
In 3rd grade, there is a course set for us for the standards and objectives to teach students proper technique as well as proper hand placement. These skills are reinforced in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. It is very important that the students at this age gain that proper technique. The direct writing assessment is scheduled to go online shortly. This will require the students to get their thoughts inputted into computer. With this test being given in the 6th grade and the 9th grade, it is imperative that the students have good inputting skills.
I recently came to work and I didn't have a computer connection, and it was interesting that I couldn't begin my day without my technology. I panicked, and I had taken for granted how technology has changed our world. Technology and keyboarding are now integral skills for success. When we talk about the walkaways that kids have to have as they graduate from high school, or even going in through middle school and into high school, we want them to be good communicators. We want them to have interpersonal skills and be able to work as a team. But that keyboarding is now our mode of communication, and I think sometimes we take for granted just how many times during the day we sit down and our correspondence is through a keyboard. So keyboarding is now an essential skill that kids must have throughout their school experience and into life.
You know, we teach our students a lot of great things, but it's so true that in this day and age, so much of it hinges on a person's ability to use a keyboard. Hi, I'm Bob Wadley. I've been an educator for the past 33 years. During that time, I've worked as a junior high and high school teacher, a school and district administrator, and I'm now teaching at the university level. Students today, more than ever before, use computers extensively in connection with their schoolwork, and they will use them more than ever before in their future employment. Today's world is much different, and the need for keyboarding skill occurs much sooner and will be valuable to students at a much younger age. We're asking district administrators, school boards, principals, and teachers to find the time, the ways, and means to make keyboarding instruction a priority in all elementary schools. This effort must begin there and then be reinforced at middle, junior, and high schools. We can't ignore this need. We can't assume students come to us at any level with keyboarding ability. We can't assume computer literacy will exist unless we teach this basic literacy skill. We hope you'll join this initiative to better educate our students. The effort is worth it, and the final outcome will be
better keyboarding skills!
For additional information, contact Janet Goebel, Business Education Specialist at the Utah State Office of Education. You can call 801-538-7891 or go to janet.goebel@schools.utah.gov.